Riff session.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. It's been a couple weeks, hasn't it?
It has been, yeah. We've both been pretty busy and
Yep.
just
Which is
things
good.
happen
That's okay.
and life
That's okay.
happens. And so, yeah, now we're back together.
Yeah.
Uh, Exciting topic today.
Couple of them. Couple of them.
Yeah.
As we said before we got on here, we're going to talk about Claude Code, which will be mostly Aaron having a in-depth session, a dive session on what he's done with it, how it's worked, and all the ins and outs. And then we're going to talk about the browser wars. We have Perplexity, which is called Comet, and OpenAI is Atlas that we are talking about.
Yep.
I'm assuming we should maybe talk about Chrome too comparatively. I know they have an AI kind of a feature, but I don't think that is the same as the two that I mentioned previously.
Yeah. And we actually can also, and I can even demonstrate, Claude has an extension for Chrome that does the same thing. I don't know if you're familiar with
Hey,
that.
you know what? I am not. Now that you say that, I am
Yeah.
not. So
And
good,
I've
good,
actually had the opportunity to play with all of them, and we
nice.
can kind of get into all of that. But first, I want to start with Claude Code, and I want to start with the fact that I am not a coder. I think I've mentioned that before.
Mhm.
I'm not a coder. I don't know a thing about code. I don't I like I know what GitHub is. I don't know how to use GitHub.
Yep.
I have now set up a GitHub account. I have now had Claude Code, sync things to GitHub. So if you are unfamiliar with Claude Code, let me give you a quick rundown.
Aaron, what do we call that when you're not a coder or a programmer, but you can code? What is that called?
It's called vibe coding
Vibe. Very cool. Very cool
because
stuff.
I'm just going off vibes, man. I'm just like,
Aaron is just
I'm just
vibing in his.
doing what we can to like make something. But it is an amazing tool. Now, I'll be the first to admit, like, what I've created, I hope any real coders don't look at it because they're going to be like,
Sure.
oh, man, that's not even quite an MVP.
Hmm.
Not quite. But I'll tell you what, for somebody that's like never done it before, it did it. It stood up a local website that I can go and I can run through and use AI in the background. In fact, so let me give you the scenario. The company that I've worked for, we do a lot of like interviews and things for evaluations of process improvements. We take those interviews, those transcripts, and we run them through AI to kind of generate all the notes and help us begin to create the reports
Hmm.
to say, here's all your systems, here's all your processes, here's, areas for potential improvement. And I'm like, we need to be able to automate that. I really want to be able to automate this. And I've been working on it and trying, I've tried custom GPTs, I've tried like all kinds of things. And I'm like, let me try Claude Code. This is the first time that I can say I've been able to get to an actual, what I would consider an MVP. The cool thing is, I have a Mac. I was able to download Claude Code, download, I think, Node.js and Python.
Yep.
And I should say Claude Code downloaded it for me and installed it for me. Like it's pretty crazy. So let me share with you Claude Code. Like, what does it look like? What is it at all? So let me know. All right, looks like you can see it over here.
Yep.
So
Gotcha.
this is my Claude Code session. So it comes up and you'll see this at the top. It's like, welcome back, Aaron. Claude Code. It is command line,
Hmm.
but it acts like Claude. Like, you go out, or it acts like any generative AI. So I can talk to it in natural language and it will interpret it. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a coder. My natural language does not speak software development code.
Yep.
So I have definitely had some issues and some struggles. And frankly, I've spent probably $100 on just Claude tokens because you do
Gotcha.
have to sign up in the back end
Yep.
for you have to set up an API and stuff. So I'm going to actually bring this over and show you, like, so far, this is what I've spent. And you can see the cool thing is, once you go in, you go to Cloud Console or, Microsoft, or not Microsoft, but ChatGPT, they have their own API console.
Yep.
I've actually gone into Google and set up an API there also, because I've tried Google's API. And in fact, fun note, if you are into this, Google will actually give you like $300 worth of credits
Mm-hmm.
to go in and use their API,
Wow.
which was super helpful because I've definitely spent some money on Claude Code.
Sure.
But you can see, I was like, Claude Code even tells you, it gives you a breakdown of like, hey, you've set up this API, and here's what model you're using, Sonnet 4.5, Sonnet 4, or Haiku,
Sure.
and then here's the cost. And as you can see, there was this day last week, I stopped using it for a while because I ran into an error.
Mm-hmm.
And this is things to watch out for if you're going to code yourself. Somewhere I missed the fact that it put a retry in, that if something failed, it would retry it 3 times.
Oh, wow.
And what that did was it exponentially increased my token usage.
You spent money.
And all of a sudden I spent $35 in one night just doing some testing. I'm like, holy crap, what's going on?
Yep.
So I've learned some things.
Hey, Aaron, let me ask you a question. Would you think, because I've listened to and read a couple things that have said, if you don't use the newest version of, let's just say, Claude Code, do you think you get the same output, or maybe even, slower output, worse output? What are your thoughts on that? Because I know you said that, using like Haiku, using version 1 or whatever it is,
Yeah.
costs less money. Is that a valid opinion to say, why don't you just use legacy versions of this?
So I'm still working through that. I have been testing that a lot. In fact, so initially I was using the newest Claude 4.5 Sonnet.
Mm-hmm.
I do find, even when I am in the GUI interface, just the regular generative AI, 4.5 Sonnet seems to use tokens faster than 4.0 Sonnet.
Yeah.
And even though I am on a max plan, I pay like $100 a month for Claude.
Yeah.
I still hit the top with Claude Sonnet 4.5 more often than not. I hit it faster with just a single session.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is interesting. Just a side note.
Yeah.
And then I have been comparing, and I've been doing it a lot, going back and forth between Sonnet, Haiku, and then also Google Pro, like 2.5.
Yep. Okay.
And Google Pro somehow, and this is where I'm not a coder, it wasn't doing like nearly what Claude could do.
Uh-huh.
And so I've actually come back to Sonnet 4.5. Of course, now I fixed the original issue I had where it's not pulling it 3 times. Sure. And of course, when you put in like 8 or 9 files that each can use, it's like I was using like 6,000 or 8,000 tokens per file, and I'll put in up to 15 files. And all of a sudden I was using 50 to 60,000 tokens a file. And that's the problem I ran into, is it like exponentially. So I fixed it. Now here is Claude Code. So as you can see, I've been going through here, and it'll go through and evaluate the code. So I can tell it, hey, refactor the code base. And it's just going to go and do that. Do I know exactly what refactoring is? No, I think it's like something about efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes and it improves it. It improves the efficiency and everything, and looks through it. And this may take a little while. And you can see like at the bottom, it's showing the thinking of, I don't know if you saw real quick, it said like, oh, use 1,000 tokens.
Yeah, tokens. Yep.
And I think Claude, like Sonnet 4.5 is, it's like a couple bucks per million tokens.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah. So that's why it's been great. But let me actually show you what I did. While it's just going out there and playing, this is actually what I've created. This is our ClearXO consulting reports. This is completely, I've been able to go and brand it with our Altus CXO brand. I've been able to go in and just totally create this And I can go and I can test it, and I'll grab, it'll upload the transcripts.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll go in here and I'll say, you know, test one, and then say generate report. Now, and so all of this, each page in this, I went in and was able to design it with Claude Code.
Okay.
Kind of say, hey, here's what I want to do. How do we design this? How do we build it? It's going to be a web interface to start with.
Yeah.
Been able to get it so the processing button works. I still have some things down here at the bottom that these real-time status monitors don't quite work the way I want them to.
Gotcha.
So I've got to go in and clean that up eventually. Right now, I'm really just trying to get the code right to where it gets a really solid report that is comparable to the one that we've manually put through all the generative AI and manually put together with our professionals. And it's getting closer. And this is where I've gone back and forth a lot of, let's try Haiku now and see for this section, because I have like, I have little Python scripts that go in and will pull out, you know, it'll go into each transcript and say, okay, let's pull out this information, then go into the transcript and pull out this information, because it's broken it up.
Gotcha.
And then it's going, and then I have a compiler that pulls it all together. I have one that writes the executive summary. And so there might be a better way to go out and do that. And I think, you know, if I were to actually, you know, code that, have some professionals come in and code this, they would probably do things a bit differently, make it much more efficient.
Sure.
Be able to go out and for under $100, create something that actually works.
Yeah, that is good value, I think. I'm working on something that I'm trying to create a logo for. So images and graphics are top of mind. I saw you have the Altus logo up here. Is that something that you prompted within Claude Code to incorporate in there, or did you grab that the logo and put it up there somehow?
So I have actually grabbed all of our brand styling documents, all of our logos and stuff.
Yep.
And I dropped it into the folder within my laptop and said, here's the branding.
Here's the folder. Here's what I need.
Yeah. And so it's been able to go in and grab the colors, because initially it had very different colors. So, okay, so here it is. It's going through, it's done initializing, val analysis. It's now synthesizing, pulling it all together. So it should be done in just another minute or two, but as long as it runs right. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'm still in the middle of this.
Yeah.
But for something that, is under, and this is me screwing up too, that it's under $100. It would honestly be, if I had a halfway good idea of what I was doing, I could do this for under $30.
Yeah. Which is crazy to think about, when comparing to hiring a software engineer who typically makes stuff like this for $200,000 or $250,000 a year. You yourself, not a coder, not a programmer, can create this for, when your very first time for $87.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, that's absolutely amazing. So, and I'll show you out here. Here's my ClearXO agent system, and it's just right out here. It shows, agents. Here's all my executive summary, document formatter, compiler, section builder, system mapper. And I can go in and just simply tell it, hey, you know what? I want to use Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. And it'll go in and it'll change every place in the code that it references that, and it'll switch over.
Match up. Wow.
Yeah. And now eventually, if I really wanted to, I could go in and be like, you know what? I want to actually be able to have the end user change it on the fly. Have a drop down in here that will automatically change it and make it so that it changes out really quickly. And I could redo the code and design it differently.
Yeah.
If I had that forethought. But for me, it was like, this is what I want to do. I don't know how to get it. But if you had, a real architect that's going to architect the entire, or I really wanted to sit down and think that deeply about it, I could have. But for me, it was more important to play and learn to use Claude Code properly. Learn to use it at all. than
Right.
it was to sit and be like, let's architect this because I really want this like application
Sure.
that I can sell. I'm not going to sell it. This is going to be for internal use potentially.
Yeah.
But the long term idea is, right now our CTOs and CIOs go out and they do these interviews, and then it takes about a week to turn that around and like
Yeah.
deliver tremendous value to companies. And like,
Sure. Yeah. What are
systems, processes, and people, and like what are the opportunities?
yeah.
And I'm like, if we could turn that around in a day, and like, wow,
Tremendous value.
huge value, and that means we can do this for a lot more people and then help
Yeah.
them.
So who are some competitors of this? I've used Replit. And this was probably about a month ago last time I used Replit. It looked very similar to this, where you're using tokens, it operates, it shows you what it's doing, and then it on the other side spits out kind of the application or the web app. I think Lovable is one of them as well.
Mhm.
And I haven't used it, but I'm sure OpenAI has something like this, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't know if they fully do though, do
Okay.
they?
Who else? Who else do you think in your
Um,
research has anybody else come to mind?
so ones I've actually used, yes, I've actually created this in Replit also. It did not work as well. In fact, I can probably log into my Replit account and show you. Nope, it looks like I deleted it, but
Oh, that's
I
fine.
did
What
it in
was?
Replit and I just couldn't quite get it there.
Gotcha.
I've tried it in Lindy.
Yep. Lindy's another
I
one. Yeah.
quasi tried it in Lovable.
Okay.
But it was just like what I'm trying to do. I never do small things. I'm never like, hey, let's just do this little teeny thing that's really cool. I'm always like, well, no, I need it to handle like up to 15 to 20 files. These are like 2 to 3 hours, sometimes transcripts,
Yep.
so it's like a lot.
Sure.
It's not like a little thing. And it's like I need to be able to potentially add graphics because I can add like PDFs or I could add images that may need to be it will take pictures of like drawings up on boards,
Yep.
may have PDFs of current state flows.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, it's got to be able to handle all that stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I found it very hard. Like the more complex it gets, the more you have to really break it down. It's given me a lot of appreciation for Scrum Masters, product owners that really break things down into those MVPs.
Yep.
And like really, that's what I do in projects all the time. It's kind of like that electrician that, always has electrical work to do at home because they never actually do it. They go out and do it for their clients, but
Right now, do
it's like, I don't do it for myself.
Yep.
If I were getting paid for this, that'd be great, but it's just practice now. So it kind of cuts some corners.
Yeah, that's great. Well, anything else you want to review here? I mean, this is, super interesting and super helpful. I think for small businesses, even would you say it'd be useful for, like a startup who maybe has a project already or a product already to do improvements to it, a digital product?
That's exactly what people are using now. So you can, if I have a GitHub repository, I can connect Claude Code up to it now and say, refactor it. So here's what it did in refactor. Let's take this. It went through, and goodness, it did a lot. Yeah, I mean, it's got, so critical priorities, extract JSON parsing utilities, migrate 4 agents to use the JSON parser, migrate remaining files to use constants, high priority split report compiler, the 4 modules extract phase handlers from main orchestrator. So it's like laying out like, how can we best practice, restructure this, re-architect this?
That's great.
And so it can go into an existing project and be like, how can we do this? Now, a highly experienced coder is going to be like, I don't know, but this is exactly what is replacing like a lot of coders.
Yeah.
There is, and Claude Code is the best. I can tell you it does phenomenally well with context
Mhm.
and with details. And so that's why there's companies when they're using like a coding assistant, it's Claude Code,
Yeah.
number one.
Yep. I have heard a lot of that too. Have
Yeah.
heard a lot of that too.
So anyhow, this is phenomenal. So, and it's super easy, does a great job.
Yep. Anything else you want to review here?
No, no. If
Well,
anybody has any questions, they can always reach out to me.
yeah.
It's a tremendous, tremendous thing. But yeah, you do have to at least be, I would say you don't have to be super technical, but you have to be able to follow technical instructions.
Sure. Yeah, and that makes sense. It's while these things are easier, they do require some basic knowledge around some of those things to make them the most efficient that they can be.
Yeah.
So, well, awesome. You want to jump into the browsers?
Let's jump into the browsers, the big browser war.
Let's do it. So maybe a little bit of a intro if some of our listeners, watchers haven't utilized or used these before. AI browsers are essentially, if you think of Chrome browser and you're searching for something on Google, which we see here and here right here, he would search for it and it would give you links that you would have to click through to find information. AI browsers, they search those links for you. They look through that information for you and give you the answer that you asked about. Generally, that is what they are, how they operate. Now they do. We'll get into this, but Perplexity Comet has what they call assistant that they're going through. But anything to add to that about AI browsers, Aaron?
So this is what I would say. I would actually say it's not just that it goes through and searches for you. It truly is, I think, the first, when we talk about agents and agentics, this is the first time that at a consumer basis, agents are out there and available to you because it can act like an agent.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to be like majorly complex, but I've been pushing the envelope with them a lot.
Yeah.
Now, and I'll show you, I'm going to walk through a couple of different scenarios.
Sure.
And if you have some scenarios, let me know. We can throw
How
them
about
out.
this? I have a list of things that I know somebody who's done.
Oh, perfect.
I want to go through those, and then you can actually demonstrate. So, my buddy who I connect with, his name's Nahid, and he has an AI newsletter that I'll link to in the comments of this. Great newsletter. He does a lot of research. It's awesome. So anyway, here's a list of 5 or 6, I think, activities that he has done. So let's just say it's the Perplexity Comet. You can search for XYZ, and then, yep, Aaron has it right here. On the right is the assistant. You can open up the assistant and you can ask it questions about the page, about the information there. A couple things that he's used it for. He writes this newsletter, like I said. So he uses assistant for newsletter insights. Example would be his prompt to Comet Assistant is provide insights on the key metrics from these pages that he has open. You can actually, in Perplexity Comet, you can actually at a tab. So at tab number 1, at tab number 2, give me 5 insights from this paper like Aaron has here, and it gives you all the insights. So it reads what is there in the tab, in the PDF, and gives you insights.
Yeah.
Awesome. Number 2 from my friend Nahid.
And I'd like to say, to help people understand, what this allows is this allows it to be context aware. So
yes.
It is aware of whatever's on your screen, and it can read it, and it can interact with it and do things on your behalf.
Yep. Click-throughs, watch videos, and tell you where they talk about certain things in videos. So yes, very context aware. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Number 2, he mentioned he does a lot of shopping with promo codes, and Assistant actually will locate the best promo code. He opens a couple tabs, And here's his example. Compare these products on at tab 1, at tab 2, and at tab 3. Add the one that suits my needs most to my cart and search for discount codes online. So it can evaluate tabs that we have on our on Comet, and he prompts it with what he needs, which one fits that the best, and then let's just say it's right that middle microphone there. It knows which one fits his needs the best, and then it'll search the internet for promo codes to put into before he purchases that item. And I have not tried this specifically one yet, so I am interested to see what comes up here.
Yeah, so it's still thinking. Now I've been having some, I would say, I've been seeing the Perplexity's Comet, and so this is Perplexity's Comet, has been taking a little longer in what it's doing. Like 2 weeks ago, when ChatGPT's Atlas came out, like I tested them out, and I'm like, Atlas is way far behind Comet. And Comet's amazing. I love it. So you can see it's got this blue haze around the screen, and it's got this down at the bottom, pause Comet Assistant. That means it's thinking. That means it's not just thinking, it's reading the screen, it's interacting, it's moving forward. And the thing I love about Perplexity is it gives you this like train of thought you can kind of follow over here.
And just for our listeners too, Aaron, your web page is moving, your web page is changing pages like that. Your hands are totally free. Comet is doing that for you.
The other cool thing, I can switch tabs and I can interact with this. Let's see, give me an. Give me a 1-paragraph executive summary of this book. Boom. There you go.
And it is looking at the tab you have open.
Yep.
And if it's, like I said, you can also direct it to different tabs. And it looks
look, this is still going.
This is still going. So it's still looking through. It's still scrolling through.
If you're ADHD,
you need an AI browser.
It's like steroids for your productivity brain. And so I have to admit, Adam, I will be running Claude Code over here. I will be running Perplexity, 2 or 3 tabs in Perplexity over here doing different things. And then late at night, I'll have Fortnite going over here. I feel like it's like insane. It's a little insane.
Your brain sounds a little like my brain. Just can't stay focused on one thing at one time because you have all the best ideas,
All the best ideas. It's like, boom, I'm working on my code over here for, we just showed you. I'm working on like my next paper over here or my next LinkedIn article over here. I'm doing other research over here. I'm navigating negotiation stuff over here, and then playing Fortnite on the side.
That's great. And now, honestly, I don't travel a lot, but when I do travel, I find it so incredibly frustrating that I have to go to multiple sites to try to find the best deal on a flight.
Perplexity, that's one of the things that they say. It will book things for you.
And find the best deal, the cheapest, the best time. Hey, I want to fly on November 12th, and I want to come back on November 16th. I want to leave in the afternoon. I want to come back in the morning. It'll find the best deal with that, with your specific like schedule, and it searches every website for you. Man, I find that incredibly frustrating when I'm trying to fly, and now that is potentially taken care of for me.
Yeah, pretty amazing. So this is OpenAI's Atlas browser. Now, it is incessantly asking me if it can continue because it's always that human in the loop. And
sure,
I've already gone through and constantly told Perplexity, like, don't ask me, just do it.
Right.
I trust you enough, do it. Now, FYI, I'm not giving it my credit card. I'm not going out and telling it to book the flight for me. Heck no.
That's another level of
that's another level of trust. But as you can see, like, it's going through and it's checking them out. It's doing. Now, Yeah, so it's actually going through. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm actually finding, and because I was just doing some testing before, because we can get on to another test that I was just running,
Mhm.
where I actually have this. I actually have this. Let's close those. This CSAT information
Mhm.
that I have from a group that I'm with, and I'm like, hey, uh, create a graph. Um, And in fact, this is what I said. I said, summarize this CSAT for me and create some graphics. That's all I told it. I gave the same thing to both Atlas, and then I gave it to um, Perplexity over here.
Oh,
And Perplexity kind of, but I told Perplexity to do it on CSAT 2,
okay.
to create CSAT 2. This is what Perplexity created. This is what Atlas created for me. So
Hmm.
actually pretty good. Now,
Yeah, I've tried to create spreadsheets in Google Sheets with Comet, and it has been a huge failure every time I've tried it.
yeah, this is my first time trying it, so it's
Mhm.
been rather interesting. Let me. Okay. Oh, this is it. 22, whatever. All right, so here's what I want to do. This is Claude. Now, Claude does not have a browser. What they did
Mhm.
is they actually have a browser extension.
Mhm.
Because I'm a Mac subscriber, I got early access to it, and I kind of love it too. Um, for me, so far, it's been Comet at the top, the Claude extension, and then Atlas. Now,
Atlas, huh?
Atlas is actually did a really good job here,
Yeah,
so I might be changing my mind. But
sure.
frankly, this is going to be a war that
Yeah,
the TLDR is Google Chrome is going to be dead.
yeah.
Um, these are pretty amazing. One side note, and the reason I still like Comet better than I like Atlas, as you can see, it actually brought over all of my stuff.
Yes, that is huge. So huge.
Atlas brought over all of my links, but Comet actually allows extensions also.
Hmm.
So I can use the Claude extension in Comet.
In Comet if needed. Wow.
So I actually only use Comet now.
Yeah.
Like I do like some things. I think Atlas is great, but nobody started saying there was a browser war until Atlas came out, until
Sure.
OpenAI did it. Comet's
Yeah.
been out for a couple months.
Yeah.
But let's take the same prompt, and I'm going to use, let's just use Sonnet 4.5.
Hmm.
Graphics, some graphics, call it CSAT 3, and we can let it go and do its thing. Let's go back to Amazon. So here's what it said. It did best prices on Amazon. It says the Blue Yeti. Actually, maybe not. HyperX Shure SM7B.
Maybe it goes to price.
Overall, HyperX Quadcast or the Blue Yeti. Yep.
Blue Yeti, yeah.
Best Pro Studio option, SM7B, which I already knew that.
Hmm.
So find any promo codes. So let's go over here. Best podcasting mic. What are they saying? Sure, MV7 Plus. Oh, it actually came up with some different things. So this
There's
is,
Blue Yeti.
yeah, this is always what's interesting is they do come up with some different stuff.
Yeah.
The MV7 Plus is widely regarded as one of the best podcasting mics. So now I'll tell it to find any promo codes.
Yeah.
Oh, it actually did say the MV7 on Amazon today. Okay, that's interesting. Where did I miss that?
Maybe that right at the very bottom.
Oh, at the very bottom, $299 at 4.7.
Huh.
$299 is current. Some users report 20%
Yeah.
off. when checking Amazon Sure Deals with Prime during flash sales. So it's honestly, it's pretty amazing, pretty great stuff. It's doing some more stuff.
Looks like it's still working.
Yeah, it is. So let's head back here and let's look at Claude. Let's allow it to extract and analyze the CSAT data. Now, I'm really interested in Claude because I don't know if you know this about Claude. Because it is so good with Claude Code, it's really good at understanding context and then all the technical stuff.
Technical, yeah.
And it's like when it comes to numbers, finance stuff, Claude just does a better job.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm really interested to see what it's going to do here. In addition, side note, I just signed up on the wait list. We'll see how long it takes. Claude has come out with an Excel extension.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So basically, the fact that Excel has, Copilot in it now, and Copilot can be like, oh, let me kind of create some stuff for you. Let me get you, I'll put the formula in. I think I've had it like create a pivot table automatically for me. But there's a lot of like more in-depth stuff it can't do, and I'm super interested in what Claude can do.
That should be interesting. If it's better than the actual Copilot that Microsoft created.
I have a feeling it's going to be.
Yeah.
It's because that's what Claude does.
Sure.
Yeah. It handles these things so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you saw from my Claude Code demonstration, it is expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive, which is why they really limit you. And like if you go over your usage limits in 5 hours, it's like, oh no, they reset every 5 hours, and so it only gives you so much, and then it will shut you off. My most annoying thing, but it's still phenomenal.
Yeah. Looks like it's still working over there too, huh?
Yeah, it is still working over there. So yeah, so I thought those were interesting. The other great thing you can see, in fact, I have I've got a thing. Let's find me the best Mexican restaurant in Des Moines and create an email for a reservation for Friday night. So I'm going to take that, and we're going to do the same thing here and see what they do.
See what we do.
Create a Gmail email ready to send. And of course,
El Torito, I've never been there before.
I know. Especially from Gmail draft. Can you confirm the purpose of this email? In Gmail format. Okay. See, and that's one of the things I don't like about Atlas is you noticed on the second time, Perplexity's already got it. I had to go that extra step, and then I had to confirm. And that's some of the things that I don't love about Atlas. It's just not quite, it doesn't push it far enough. Oh, you're on mute still.
And it's newer. Comet, I don't remember having those issues with Comet. However, I'm sure that you're not the only one that's complaining, might be the wrong word, but complaining about that. And I'm sure that OpenAI will mitigate that in the future if they can. But when you're trying to get ahead in this world, you gotta do all that you can to do that. And taking one extra step is a lot, especially if you're trying to use this thing all the time for a lot of different things.
Yeah, and this, as you can see though, all of a sudden, like it's going out, and it was trying to get out to the El Toriado website.
Uh-huh.
And here Perplexity's still like it's almost there, and sometimes it's just not quite. It's taking this little bit longer. It used to take a month ago, it was faster.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder if there's just a whole lot more people using it now.
And if you're looking at Atlas right now, I mean, it's already got the email up. It's already got the email address in there.
Although it threw it below my signature line.
Oh, it did. You're right.
Actually, I shouldn't say below. Right in the middle of my signature line.
Oh, it is in the middle. There you go.
It totally is.
Yeah.
So,
and so, yeah, I mean, there's definitely, as with all these AI tools, they're not perfect. But as they go, they learn, which is one of the better parts about AI and large language models. So they'll get better. They'll get they'll get there. But there still are some incredible use cases that will make your day and your weeks and your life a lot easier. Sometimes the tricky part is just finding those. Oh,
absolutely. And there was a post I shared. I'm trying to pull it up here yesterday. There was an article I read yesterday, and then a post that it was about Microsoft Copilot, and they were talking to one of the guys, that helped release it, and the fact that Copilot can now build apps. So this idea of like everybody's doing this, Lovable's done it, Replit, and Microsoft's finally getting on board, and now you can build apps through natural language in Copilot. And so I posted this quote because along with this article to my LinkedIn yesterday, and it said this that I thought was spot on. It said, just like how 20 years ago you put in your resume that you could use pivot tables in Excel, people are going to start saying that they can use App Builder and workflow agents, even if they're just in the finance department or sales department.
That's super cool.
Like, yeah, if you think about it, like this, if you think 20 years ago, before we had the iPhone, 20 years ago was before we had the iPhone. And how dramatically that has transformed our work.
Yeah.
Like, for me, I run Samsung because I love it. One of the reasons I love it is because it is a backup for my entire office.
Yes, right.
Because it has DeX on it, and I can plug this into a monitor and plug in a Bluetooth, keyboard and a mouse, and I can use this like my full laptop.
Yep.
And I've had to do that probably a half dozen times over the years that I've been running Samsung Galaxies. But it's a game changer. And that's the same thing here is people are going to be finding these little ways to use this, and they're going to be using smart browsers that are like, oh, hey, you know what? You're going to be coordinating agents. So when they say that's the future, this is what it means.
It is.
You're going to be telling it, go out and do this. And so you're going to have to think. That's the uniquely human thing is like, so yeah, now you can see, boom. You can actually see here Perplexity it looks like it's created almost a perfect email. It's taking it a bit longer.
Yep.
Yeah.
But above your signature on Perplexity.
Above my signature.
Yep.
It's still thinking, wow. So this is what's weird for me is it's never taken me this long with Perplexity to do things.
Really?
Yeah. It's normally much, much faster. And all right, let's pause Atomic Browser and let's see. Oh, that's the other one. That's the one that over there.
Oh, that's the other draft. Yep.
I don't know where it just went. But yeah, we saw it up. So I'm not sure what it did. So yeah, are they there yet? No, but you can see 6 months, a year, everybody's going to be using a smart browser.
Yep. And you say, are they there yet? No. With the way AI typically goes, in 6 days they might be there.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Absolutely valid. Because you're so right. It's just it happens so quickly with AI, and things are changing so fast. You just can't keep on top of it, and that's why, I love this. I'm a big one for change. I love bringing things in that are force multipliers for you in your job. And so, and in fact, that's absolutely what we both do. So that's our shameless plug. You know,
Yep.
me with Altus CXO. Adam, I'll let you give your pitch for your company.
Sure. Yeah, I own an AI consultancy called Big Creek Growth. We partnered, collaborated with small businesses and founders to help them integrate AI and really just evaluate where AI can be used on a day-to-day or week-to-week basis to make you more efficient and make your weeks and months and years a little easier. So, and as you probably already know, me and Aaron love to talk about this stuff. So if you ever want to jam on some AI stuff, or maybe even in the comments, have you used Comet? Have you used Atlas? Which one do you prefer? What do you like? What do you not like? We'd love to talk about it. We do love to talk about this stuff.
Love to hear it. Like, yeah, and if you've got any recommendations for my Claude code use, let me know. I am all ears. I am new to this.
Aaron, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Hey, I was just honest. I was just excited when it actually ran.
Sure.
And it actually worked. And of course, now I'm going back to my report that it's generating. It's still generating a report, which tells me I do have an issue, so I need to go back and figure out what's going on.
Figure it out. Yeah, that's what you do.
That's what you do. So I have tremendous respect for all those coders out there.
Mm-hmm.
My heart goes out to you. That's a tough job.
Yep, same.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Adam. It's been great, and we'll talk to